up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we got another episode of This Week in Warframe. We go over the entire weekly reset. And yeah, we got the first reset of the Hex calendar year for the new 1999 update. So great stuff with that. And we got some new events coming up this week too, so you're in the right place for Warframe content. Mix yourself this channel before we get into this stuff. And yeah, we're live on stream right now. We'll be doing the weekly reset missions and a ton of other stuff, so come on, stop by. Alright, so yeah, we got a Lunar New Year event coming up this week with a new couple of skins in it. Not going to spoil who, but there are some leaks out there technically. And there's also going to be, you got a new Resurgence thing that started on Thursday too. And additionally, this new calendar year is going to have some potential hidden Easter egg stuff in it. But first things first, your first weekly reset item is at Teshin. Got 50k Kuva for 55. Still has technically a discount if you were to buy it each individual box. But yeah, so you got the Hex reset tonight. Well, we're going to go to the back rooms area right after we check out this stuff to see if anything changed. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it because it's only if you've done the dating sim stuff and are currently dating a proto frame. If you're not dating a proto frame, there's apparently another Easter egg too, but I'm not going to know about that because my character is currently dating Allie. And she won't really stop talking, so we'll see if that lasts for very much longer afterwards. But let's move over to the Dormizone so we can see what we get for pathos clamps this week. Now, as far as what's some good stuff for pathos clamps in the Dormizone on a weekly basis, things like Riven mods and Archon catalysts and reactors can be quite good. That was just like a random mag with Darvo's voice, just moving on from that. But yeah, this stuff resets on a weekly basis, and a lot of people do like to grab these, but it can be pretty easy to forget, so it's one of the reasons I do show this stuff in the video. Alright, so as far as our weekly reset stuff, see what I mean? You can get some easy Rivens here, air quotes, easy. We've got, as far as the stuff this weekly reset, Shotgun Riven, Melee Riven, a Forma Blueprint, 5k Kuva, and an Exilus Weapon Adapter. So you can get some Rivens here for shotguns and melees. Keep in mind, there are no Infested Lich Coda shotguns announced yet. But I'm hoping there's a new one that's a technical, weapon they'll add after the fact. They haven't shown us yet. And for melees, you got the Infested Lich version of the Haruto, Meyer, and Cost Assist, and the Path Assist too. So this could be a nice one to grab for an Infested Lich weapon. Rest of the stuff you can definitely pass on.
Nothing tickled your curiosity?
But yeah, as far as some other stuff, guys, there's going to be a big Devstream. And this is going to be information for the Nightwave as well. So on the Devstream on the 31st, they're announcing a new Nightwave season. And also the new Prime, and some more stuff. So if you have not touched this Nightwave season at all, you have probably about a month to do it, to get those things like the Burning Hate Augment and the Unseen Dread Augment too. Okay, so we're back at the ship, and we got Aoi over here.
We don't pay for internet.
Hard code title, hard code description. Okay. What do we have here? When the year ends, do you want to remember your relationship with the Hex or forget them and start over? If you are dating a Hex member, forgetting will end this relationship. Okay, I'm going to click remember. You can reset the dating sim with that button, it looks like. But as you can see, there is still no, stuff to update here. If you do want the reset... Wait, Drippy couldn't find the calendar? Wait, what? The calendar's broken? Oh no, a broken reset! I don't know if anyone else is able to get the calendar to work here. Oh no! Oh no, the calendar does not seem to be working. Okay, we're going to move on past that, but there might be some big issues with this current reset, guys. Looks like the calendar's not working, which is one of your new reset items, sadly, so yikes. Hopefully we'll get a hotfix tomorrow for that, but as of right now, the calendar is not allowing it to be loaded. Drippy can't find it, as they said, so we'll take a look at that later on stream, but as for right now, you are with no calendar buffs or calendar loot, for that matter, until further notice, sadly. And yeah, the date also says hard-coded or whatever, placeholder or whatever. So, we've got things that hopefully do work. We're going to go to the EDA and the Archon Hunt. So as far as this stuff, this resets on a weekly basis as well, it's a great place for Archon Tau Shards. Okay, so this stuff is going to give you random gear and random frames to pick from that you can get for additional loot, or use for additional loot. So as far as the mission types this week, you got Exterminate, Mirror Defense, and Assassination. As far as the modifiers on these missions, the first one, Fissure, for Exterminate, is going to have Fissure Cascade, Post-Mortal Surges, and Commanding Culverins. The amount of the enemy's level will go up through Fissure Cascades as long as you are breaking these fissures in the mission. You've also got exploding enemies with post-mortal surges, and also increased damage to overguard from the enemies with a commanding Culverin. So, pretty straightforward exterminate, don't worry about it too much. These last two missions you should worry about a lot more. You got a near defense and an assassination, a lot more, failable, I'd say, than the exterminate mission. So for the near defense, let's see what we got. Glyph inflation. The security system requires twice as much Phosphine glyphs to activate. So 100 glyphs to activate the healing. Second modifier, myopic munitions. Enemies only take damage within if the player's within 15 meters of them. Very dangerous in this mission, as the enemies will have to be right next to the objective when they die a lot of the time. And also, to make it even more dangerous, all enemies that overguard equal to 50% of their maximum health. So bring someone with, honestly, Octavia would be pretty good here, but yeah, this is going to be a relatively scary one if you are not keeping constant watch of the objective. And for the last mission, okay guys, I'm going to let you know this right now. We might not have the calendar this week, but we do have the boss fight EDA. This boss fight EDA is a great place to farm Stella. And the reason for that is because the enemies will infinitely spawn in the final boss fight. So that means you can just keep killing them over and over again, and they will drop Stella. You can get thousands of Stella if you do it correctly. You can do the normal Deep Archimedian or the EDA, whichever one you prefer. Bring a frame like Sevagoth to nuke them really hard. But yeah, let's just go for the modifiers if you don't want to farm Stella like that. You got Relentless Tide. The Fragmented Tide never stops attacking. Entanglement. Allies within 4 meters of a slight enemy have reduced movement speed and parkour. And also hostile regeneration. The enemies are constantly healing. Alright, moving on to the individual parameters here. Secondary wounds, you will constantly get puncture procs, you take damage. Ammo deficit, your ammo from drops and gear is reduced. Fractured armor, casting ability reduces your armor by 10%. And abbreviated abilities, you basically have no duration at all. So a pretty easy EDA in my opinion, but a little bit dangerous on that second and third mission. So good luck with that one. As far as your weekly shard from Bird 3,
What do these do?
you've got a guaranteed Crimson Archon shard for Bird 3 for 5,000 reputation if you have the 30,000 rep to buy it. Reminder too, if you do your EDA and your Netro Cells, you get 30,000 rep from that for the first time of the week. Okay, so let's go back to our ship and see if anything fixed. I doubt it, but let's just go ahead and take a peek if anything's changed. And again, as stated earlier in the video, guys, you have about a month to finish this Nightwave, so no big rush.
That's not too bad, is it?
Okay, Drippy still has a glitched out calendar, unfortunately. Yeah, so hard-coded title, hard-coded description. That's not what you want to be having going on, so that's kind of a yikes. We'll move on to the Incarnons of the Archon hunt, though, just moving on. For the Archon hunt, you got the Snake Archon dropping things like Amber Archon shards. And for your mission types, you got Rescue, Survival, and the Final Boss Showdown. For the Circuit, that's the wrong button. For the Circuit, let's do Normal Path and Steel Path to see what we got. Now for Normal Path, you've got Loki, Mag, and Rhino. All really easy frames to farm. I'll say that right one week, I swear. All these frames are easy to farm. It just depends which one you want to get. I would actually not recommend taking any of these frames from the Circuit, as you can get this from the Venus boss fight, the Sergeant, whatever planet he's on, the easiest boss fight in the game, and then the Jackal pack or Hyena pack on Pluto or Neptune for this one. They're so easy to farm. I would not recommend wasting your time in normal Circuit this week, but if you had to pick one, I guess you could go for Rhino, I suppose. You didn't get him somehow and you're already playing Circuit, because his Helminth is very, very good. Alright, moving on to the Steel Path Circuit, we got some pretty good Incarnons this week. We've got the Akenbrunt Incarnon, the Soma Incarnon, which is not good, the Vasto Incarnon, which is very good for single target, the Nami Solo Incarnon, which is very good for AoE melee, and the Burst Incarnon, one of the best guns in the whole game, for sure. Reminder though, you can get Kuva or Riven instead of these Incarnons if you prefer that. Okay, so we've got the Akenbrunt Incarnon. Let's explain what all these do so you can see what one's the best for you. This sword and shield, or shield and axe basically, has some relatively high crit stats, and for the Incarnon form, after you get a 6x combo multiplier, you will launch Spectral Axes during slide attacks. And those Spectral Axes have relatively good damage, but they ain't no Exodia Contagion. They're like mini Exodia Contagions, and you can spam them pretty quickly. That being said, it is definitely not a very popular Incarnon at all. Hardly anybody really uses this thing. But as far as the best Incarnon perks, you can get a bunch of increased crit chance if you'd like to do that. Yeah, not really a very popular one at all. I would not recommend you take this one. It's probably like one of your lowest priorities, even below the Soma potentially. Second one here, we got a Soma Incarnon. Now, we had a lot of hype for this thing before it came out, and when it actually came out, we were really, really disappointed. The thing about the Soma is it is a very, very low base damage weapon. It's got 12 base damage, and the Incarnon perks only give you a little bit more base damage, so it's not that big of an upgrade. And actually, funny enough, the Incarnon form of this thing actually nerfs the crit chance. The crit chance gets, like, chopped down, but you get some built-in multi-shot and extra status chance, I suppose. So, yeah. Once you go to Incarnon form, it goes from a normal, like, auto rifle to a shotgun / auto rifle, basically. Good status, good multi-shot, but bad crit. Wouldn't recommend it. There's better guns this week for sure, but if you do want to get the Soma for nostalgia, you can try it out with perks like Fresh Havoc, increasing that terrible base damage a little bit more. For the Vasto Incarnon, you got a single target pistol here. The Incarnon form after some headshots becomes Fan the Hammer. You'll fire, I think it's like 6 bullets in one blast, and those bullets can knock out a level 10,000 Demolist or Thrax relatively easily. So if you are okay with aiming for high levels, this will be a very good sidearm for you. But that being said, if you just like to go easy mode, hopefully you got the dual tox from last week, you got the Furious from a couple weeks ago, because this thing has a lot of aiming required. So unless you're playing Disruption with like Magus Lockdown, if you're playing Cascade, the Thrax Overguard, they jump around a lot. Wouldn't recommend it for Cascade, but good in Disruption. So for some of the really good perks here, Survivor's Edge and Commodore's Fortune giving crit chance and status chance, but the big perk here is actually Death Trap Trigger, a level 1 perk. Equipping this weapon from your primary gives increased crit chance and crit damage. So you can swap to it, get red crit, swap back, go back to red crit mode, back and forth, back and forth. Really strong, but really single target, so keep that in mind when you're picking this thing if you want to pick it. It's meant to take out elite enemies only, basically. Exact opposite of the Vasto, you got the Nami Solo Incarnon. This thing, with its Incarnon form, after 6x multiplier, it gets increased range of 3 meters, increased melee damage, and increased sprint speed and parkour. So with a range Riven and this Incarnon leveled up, you can get like 13 meters of range. You throw in melee influence, it's like a 32-meter range situation. So really deadly, but it's not the best weapon in the game at all. It's nice to have. It's not a must-have. It's just good. That being said, it's really, really good, so it's probably the second recommendation this week. And for the first recommendation this week, we've got the Burst Incarnon. It might not look like much, but this thing is actually one of the strongest guns in the whole game with this Incarnon perk. So once you go to Incarnon form, it goes from a burst mode to a full auto mode that has exploding fire bullets. These fire bullets might have low damage, but when you throw everything together, it can one-shot high-level enemies very easily. Not to mention, too, you can main the Incarnon form of this weapon. Unlike the Vasto that has 4 bursts before it has to get Incarnon ammo back, this thing has hundreds of bullets for Incarnon form, which lets you just basically main the Incarnon form. You can build it up really easily for a couple headshots and just stay in Incarnon form all the time. That being said, these perks are not too bad either. Absolute Valor giving a lot of crit chance. You can get some red crits on this thing. You also got Forceful Finality, giving increased multi-shot in the final burst of the magazine and a lot of base damage. And also Kinetic Battle giving reduced recoil too, to have really good accuracy. Now, after all those descriptions, what's the 2 best ones this week? Number 1, Burstin for sure, one of the best guns of the game. Number 2, Nami Solo, one of the longest range melees in the game with good stats too. If you already have some good Incarnon melees like the Magistar or whatever, you can go for the Vasto instead for a very good single target pistol. But yeah, guys, the real main thing here is make sure you get the Burstin this week so you can have it. And then for the second one, it's either Nami Solo for a melee enjoyer or Vasto for a single target pistol enjoyer. After you've gotten all 3 of those, I'd probably say the Soma is number 4, or the Akabrunt's number 4, and number 5 is like the Soma. These 2 are really not ones you need that badly. These are like lower priority ones, but if you do everything else, you can go for those as well. Hope that was helpful to you. Let's go for our Nightwave. And as I stated earlier, guys, the Nightwave has about a month left, so if you do want to start doing this to get these augment mods, you should start probably right around now. But as far as your challenges here, you got the first challenge supporter, complete 5 syndicate missions, pretty straightforward. Zeramon Bounty Hunter, complete 4 different bounties in the Zeramon, pretty annoying because you like to run the God Roll ones. First Elite Weekly, Rise of the Machine, kill 300 enemies with a Necromech without it being destroyed. I recommend missions like Conjunction Survival or like something like Thermia Fractures maybe for that one. And for your second Elite Weekly, you got the Path Less Travel, complete 5 different Steel Path nodes. And your permanent weeklies, Eximus Eliminator, kill 30 Eximus, mission complete 15 missions, and Not a Warning Shot, kill 500 enemies. For your Nightwave store, we do have the Ceramic Dagger in the store, so that's nice. We also got some Solstice skins, so we got the Graham Solstice skin, which is quite nice to have. Tatsu Solstice skin, the Otomos Solstice skin too. Now, as far as we got Jade Helmet as well. That's very nice. Jade's Helmet available. For Aura mods, you got Deadeye, Sprint Boost, Enemy Radar, Physique, Infested Impotence, Rifle Scavenger, and Dreamer's Bond. As far as what's the best one to use here, I'd recommend to get either Sprint Boost or Enemy Radar here, but mainly Sprint Boost because these are not the best Aura mods this week. You also got Critical Precision for the Tiburon, Bursting Master of the Mulus Quanta, and Deadly Maneuvers for the Magnus. This is quite good on the Magnus Prime. Yeah, Ceramic Dagger is available this week as well if you want to grab that. And you got Brainstorm the Grakata, Directed Convergence for the Supra, and Power 3 for Ivara. Okay, so yeah, one more check just to make sure. Are we sure that the calendar is glitched out? It looks like it is definitely glitched out. So, yeah. That is unfortunate. We have... And my chat has told me that apparently the season has defaulted to summer. So it is not the winter season for 1999 as we expected. It is just a glitched out reset, sadly, guys. Okay, so hopefully DE comes to the office tomorrow to fix this. But yeah, just keep in mind that this is not the way it's supposed to be. Hard code title, hard code description, not the 1999 we're expecting today. I am not even sure if the Thanksgiving or the New Year's Kiss thing is going to work, but I guess we'll find out later on stream. So, as far as the remainder of this video, we got the invigorations back here. Yeah, I literally don't know what's going on, but we'll find out later tonight. So let's see what we got right here. So we've got the Grendel Invigoration. These are random per player per week. So let's see what we got. We got Grendel for primary damage and heal rate. Oh my gosh! What is this Cyto 9 reset? Or Cyto 9 Invigoration? I've got a Power, Strength, and Energy Max Invigoration for Cyto 9. Jeez. And now my chat's telling me that if you reset the game, the Kiss thing will work. So, we might have to make a second video for that later. Yeah. So, okay, so we have to literally reset the game to get the Kiss, apparently. I will do that in a separate video later tonight, guys, because we don't have time for that right now. I'm just looking at these crazy invigorations. We got Power, Strength, and Energy Max. And also Ability, Duration, and Parkour Velocity for Caliban. These are both going to be really good. I might have to override one of these for Arby's later this week. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and call it for now. I will see you guys on stream very soon. Appreciate the support, and have a great night, guys. Peace.